You might think making a woman miss you is about playing games, disappearing for a few days, or pretending you don't care. But that's not what this is about. This is about understanding the psychology of attraction on a level most men never reach. Today, we're diving deep into how you can make any woman, even one who doesn't seem interested, feel your absence so strongly that she starts questioning herself, replaying moments in her head, and wondering why she suddenly can't stop thinking about you. Welcome back to the channel, fellas. In this video, I'm going to break down what really makes a woman miss you. Not from manipulation or tricks, but from power. The kind of power that comes when you understand how women are wired emotionally and how to use that understanding to shift the dynamic completely in your favor. You see, most guys chase. They beg for attention, double text, or try to convince a woman to like them. That energy only pushes her further away. What most men never realize is that attraction doesn't grow from attention. It grows from impact. When you become a man who leaves an emotional imprint, someone she feels on a deeper psychological level, that's when she starts missing you. Even if she thought she wasn't into you at first. This is going to challenge a lot of what you've been told about women. It's not about detachment, and it's not about being cold. It's about balance. It's about showing emotional control, self-respect, and presence in a way that makes her mind race the moment you're gone. So, if you're tired of being the one chasing and want to become the man she can't stop thinking about, stay tuned, because this video is going to change the way you look at attraction forever. 1. The power of emotional absence. Most men think a woman misses them because they disappear, but that's not how it works. A woman doesn't miss you just because you're gone. She misses the feeling she had when she was around you. That's the first lesson in understanding emotional absence. It's not about distance. It's about the impact you leave behind before you step away. When a woman feels your presence, your calm energy, your confidence, your sense of direction, and then suddenly that energy is gone, her emotions don't just shut off. They start searching for that presence again. That's when missing you begins. Most guys never create that emotional impact in the first place. They're too focused on constant validation, always texting, always proving their worth. And because of that, when they disappear, she doesn't even notice. Why? Because they were never felt. To make a woman truly miss you, you have to build emotional weight. You do that by living with intention, by being grounded, focused, and unbothered by her reactions. When she senses that you're a man who doesn't rely on her for emotional stability, it shifts something inside her. She starts realizing she's dealing with a man who's not playing by the same rules as every other guy. You're not trying to fill silence. You're comfortable in it. You're not chasing attention. You attract it through your presence. Emotional absence only has power when your presence carried meaning. Think about it. The reason a woman can't stop thinking about a man who barely texts her isn't because he vanished. It's because when he was there, he made her feel something real, something she didn't get from anyone else. It's the memory of that energy that lingers. So, when you step back, not out of spite, not as a tactic, but as a man who values his time, she feels that loss. She feels that gap in her emotional rhythm. She wonders what you're doing, who you're with, and most importantly, why you're not reaching out like everyone else. That curiosity grows into desire, and that desire grows into missing you. The power of emotional absence isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about showing that your world doesn't revolve around her. You become the man who adds value when he's there, not the man begging for connection when he's gone. That's what makes you unforgettable. Not the silence itself, but the meaning behind it. 2. Why chasing destroys. Attraction. One of the hardest truths for men to accept is that the moment you start chasing a woman, you stop being attractive to her. It sounds unfair, right? You're showing interest, being consistent, doing everything you've been told women want, and yet the more you give, the less she seems to care. But that's because chasing is built on imbalance. When you chase, you give your power away, and the moment she senses that, the dynamic shifts completely in her favor. Attraction isn't built on pursuit. It's built on polarity. It's the natural tension between two people who want each other but don't need each other. The moment a man starts chasing, he breaks that tension. He turns something that should feel exciting and unpredictable into something predictable and easy. And women don't fall for what's easy. They fall for what makes them feel. You have to understand that chasing doesn't just mean texting her a lot or asking her out multiple times. It's also when you're emotionally chasing, constantly trying to prove your worth, seeking validation through her responses, or reacting every time she pulls away. That emotional pursuit tells her you've already decided she's above you, and that's when attraction dies. When you stop chasing, something powerful happens. You stop giving away your energy freely, and she starts feeling the absence of it. Women are drawn to men who make them feel like they need to earn attention, not the other way around. The man who moves with purpose, who knows his worth, and who doesn't panic when a woman pulls away. That's the man she respects. And respect always comes before desire. The reason chasing destroys attraction is because it signals emotional desperation. It tells her that you've built your sense of value around her approval. That's not masculine energy, that's dependence. Women want to be chosen by a man who has options, not one who acts like she's the only thing that makes his life meaningful. You have to flip the script. When you stop chasing and focus on being your best self, mentally, physically, emotionally, you force her to meet you where you are. That's when she starts chasing you. She begins to notice your confidence, your restraint, and your ability to stay grounded even when she tests your patience. And believe me, women notice that. Chasing is what boys do when they don't know their value. Patience, presence, and control are what men practice when they do. So the next time you feel the urge to prove yourself to a woman who's pulling away, remember this: attraction grows in space, not in pursuit. When you stop chasing, you stop trying to impress her. And that's when you finally do. 3. Creating the mystery. She feels, not sees. A lot of men think mystery means being secretive, posting vague quotes on social media, acting like they're too busy, or trying to look cold and detached. But that's not real mystery. Real mystery isn't about what you hide, it's about what she feels when she's around you. It's about creating emotional curiosity, the kind that makes her wonder who you are beneath your calm, confident surface, the kind that keeps her thinking about you even when you're not saying much. See, mystery is not silence, it's depth. Most men live on the surface. They talk too much, overshare, or try to convince a woman that they're interesting. But what women actually crave is presence with uncertainty. They want to feel connected but not completely in control. That's what mystery does. It gives her something to discover. Think about it. When you meet a woman and you immediately start telling her everything about your life, your dreams, your past, your daily schedule, you've already removed the tension. You've left nothing for her to explore. But when you speak with purpose, when your words carry weight, and when your energy feels centered, she starts wondering, who is this man really? That's when intrigue begins. The key is to let her feel like she's learning you, not that you're presenting yourself. Don't rush to prove anything. Let her earn access to your world piece by piece. When you show her that your life is full, that you have purpose, goals, and interests that exist beyond her, she begins to realize you're not another man trying to win her. You're a man who's already fulfilled, and that's what makes her want to be part of your story. Mystery also comes from emotional control. When a woman can't predict how you'll react, not in a manipulative way, but because you stay calm and unbothered, she feels both safe and challenged. Safe because you're stable, challenged because you're not easily figured out. That's a rare balance. Most men are too reactive. If she ignores them, they panic. If she compliments them, they melt. But when you maintain your composure, you create the kind of mystery that can't be faked. A man who understands real mystery doesn't have to act distant. He just doesn't overexpose himself. He reveals his personality naturally through time, action, and presence. That's the difference between playing hard to get and being worth getting. when she can't quite label you, when she feels connected, but unsure of how deep that connection goes. That's when you've won. You've created mystery she feels, not just sees. And that feeling keeps her coming back, searching for more, because deep down, she senses there's something about you she hasn't fully understood yet. 4. How silence speaks louder than words. Let's take a situation most men have experienced. You're in a relationship, things start off amazing. Constant communication, long conversations, late night texts. But then something shifts. She starts pulling away, becoming distant, replying slower. Naturally, your first reaction is to do the opposite. You text more, call more, try to fix things, but that's exactly where most men lose power. What you don't realize is that in moments like this, silence can do what words never could. Imagine this. Instead of chasing her energy, you pull back. You give her space. Not as punishment, but as a statement. A statement that says, I won't fight for your attention when you've stopped offering it. That silence, that calm withdrawal, carries more weight than 100 texts ever could. Because silence speaks to a woman's emotions. It makes her feel your absence in a way that no argument or explanation can. When a man stops over-explaining himself, stops begging to be understood, and simply goes quiet, it forces reflection. A woman starts to wonder why. She replays moments, she questions what changed, and she begins to notice the difference between your presence and your absence. That's the emotional effect of silence. It pulls her out of control. It makes her curious again. Let's say there's a man named Daniel. He's dating a woman who suddenly becomes distant. Instead of panicking, Daniel chooses silence. He focuses on his gym routine, his work, his goals. He stays consistent in his life. 2 weeks later, she texts him, "Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while." That message didn't come because Daniel begged for attention. It came because his silence created emotional space. That silence spoke volumes. It told her he values himself enough not to chase energy that's no longer reciprocated. Silence is powerful because it communicates self-control. Most men can't handle it. They confuse silence with rejection, when in reality it's a language of strength. It tells a woman, I'm not going to explain my worth. You'll feel it when I'm gone. And that's when the tables turn. But understand this. Silence only works when it comes from emotional maturity, not manipulation. You can't go silent while secretly hoping she notices. You go silent because you respect yourself too much to overinvest where there's no effort in return. That's when your silence becomes strength. In a world where everyone's desperate to be heard, the man who can stay silent stands out. His calmness makes her anxious. His distance makes her wonder, and his restraint makes her realize what she lost. When you learn to let silence speak for you, you don't chase, you attract. Because silence, when used with purpose, doesn't just end a conversation, it changes the entire relationship dynamic. 5. Building value through self-control. Every man has been in that moment. You're talking to a woman you like, she does or says something that triggers you, and before you know it, you're reacting. Maybe she takes too long to reply, flirts with another guy, or starts pulling away. You feel that frustration rise, and your instinct tells you to confront it. So you send that emotional text, why are you acting different? Or, if you're not interested, just say it. You think you're standing up for yourself, but in reality, you're showing her you've lost control of your emotions. That's the first wrong move. When you let your feelings dictate your actions, you hand her the steering wheel. Women don't lose respect for you because you care. They lose respect because you can't contain how you care. Emotional stability is what separates a high-value man from a needy one. And here's the truth. A woman will always test your emotional discipline. She might pull back, go quiet, or say something that stings just to see how you handle it. She's not always doing it consciously, but it's instinctive. She's trying to see if you're the kind of man who can stay composed under pressure. Now let's break down what not to say in those moments. Don't send messages like, I just don't get you. I'm tired of games, or what did I do wrong? These statements might feel honest, but to her, they sound like desperation. You're giving away your power by making her responsible for your emotions. And the second wrong move, trying to guilt her into caring. Saying things like, I always treat you right, and you still act like this, doesn't build value. It creates pity, not respect. So, what should you say instead? The answer lies in simplicity and self-control. When she starts pulling back, instead of chasing or complaining, you calmly say something like, it seems like your energy's changed. I'll give you some space. That one sentence does two things. It shows awareness and emotional maturity. You're not pretending you don't notice her shift, but you're also not begging for clarity. You're handling it like a man who values his peace over her approval. Or when she tests you by saying something sharp, instead of firing back, you can simply say, I'm not here to argue, and move on. That calm confidence communicates more strength than any emotional reaction ever could. It shows that your emotions belong to you, not to her. Self-control isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about managing them in a way that earns respect. Every time you respond with calmness instead of chaos, you build value. Every time you let your silence speak louder than your emotions, you become the man she remembers. Not because you said the right words, but because you embodied them. That's real power, when a woman realizes she can't shake your center no matter what she does. 6. Triggering her emotional curiosity. If there's one thing that pulls a woman back into your orbit faster than anything else, it's emotional curiosity. It's not about looks, money, or even how much time you spend with her. It's about how you make her feel. Curiosity is what makes her check your social media after ignoring your message. It's what makes her wonder what you're doing when you stop texting. It's what makes her compare every other man to you without even realizing it. Emotional curiosity is born when a woman feels something she can't fully explain. It's when she senses that there's more to you than she's figured out. Most men kill that curiosity too soon because they're too predictable. They text the same way every day, overshare about their lives, and rush to prove how different they are. But being mysterious doesn't mean being distant. It means being unreadable in the right way. Let's say you were seeing a woman and she suddenly lost interest. Most men panic. They start sending messages like, "Did I do something wrong?" Or, "Are you still interested?" That kills curiosity instantly because it gives her emotional certainty. She now knows exactly where you stand, and once she knows, the mystery dies. But if instead you pull back and remain composed, posting glimpses of your life, focusing on your goals, and moving forward as if you were never affected, now she starts wondering. She'll think, wait, did he lose interest? Did he meet someone else? That's curiosity doing its work. She starts replaying moments, trying to figure out when the energy shifted. And here's the key. Curiosity only works when your actions are natural, not forced. You can't fake it by pretending to be busy or acting uninterested. It's about genuinely being focused on your life and letting her feel that shift without you having to say a word. Another way to trigger emotional curiosity is through controlled unpredictability. Not by playing games, but by keeping your interactions fresh and intentional. For example, don't always respond instantly. Don't always be available. If she's used to constant access, take a step back. If she's used to short replies, surprise her with a meaningful conversation one day. The goal isn't confusion, it's depth. You want her to feel that your energy can't be boxed into a pattern. When she realizes she can't fully read you, she invests emotionally. She starts guessing, wondering, checking in, all because her emotions have been activated. And that's when missing you becomes inevitable. The beauty of emotional curiosity is that it doesn't come from effort. It comes from restraint. When you stop trying to prove yourself and instead let your actions, composure, and silence speak for you, she'll chase the answers you never gave her. That's when you've truly flipped the dynamic. You're no longer trying to earn her interest. You've made her earn your mystery. 7. Becoming the man. She can't forget. Every man wants to be unforgettable, but very few understand what that truly means. Being unforgettable isn't about looks, status, or how many sweet things you say. It's about impact. The emotional imprint you leave on a woman long after you're gone. You see, physical attraction fades, but emotional memory lasts. And the men who become unforgettable are the ones who know how to connect in a way that touches a woman's emotions, not just her attention. Here's what most guys get wrong. They think being memorable means being available, showering her with compliments, or constantly proving they care. But what actually makes a woman remember you is the feeling she had when she was around you, how she felt seen, understood, and intrigued all at once. It's that rare combination of confidence, calmness, and authenticity that stays in her mind. Think about it this way. When you interact with a woman, you're leaving emotional fingerprints. If your energy is anxious, she'll remember the tension. If your energy is desperate, she'll remember the neediness. But if your energy is grounded, if you're calm, present, and carry yourself like a man who doesn't seek validation, that's what lingers. Because a man like that is rare. He doesn't rush to impress, doesn't beg for attention, and doesn't fold under pressure. That kind of man stands out in a world full of uncertainty. Women don't miss men who talk a lot. They miss the men who made them feel safe and alive at the same time. The man who could listen without judging, challenge them without arguing, and walk away without bitterness. That's the man who gets remembered at 2 a.m. when she's scrolling through her phone, wondering why no one else measures up. To become that man, you have to build yourself from the inside out. You need purpose, something beyond her that fuels your life. You need discipline, the ability to stay consistent in your actions and emotions. And you need authenticity, the courage to be yourself without trying to fit her expectations. When a woman feels that kind of presence, it imprints on her emotionally. Even if she walks away, she'll never quite forget the feeling you gave her. Let's be real. Being unforgettable doesn't mean she'll always come back. It means that even if she doesn't, she'll compare every other man to you. She'll remember your silence, your confidence, your calm energy when things got tough. She'll remember how she couldn't manipulate your emotions, how she respected your boundaries, and how your absence made her question her own behavior. That's what makes a man unforgettable. Not what he does for her, but who he is when she's around. Be the man who doesn't just take up her time, but her thoughts. When she can't forget your energy, she can't replace you. At the end of the day, making a woman miss you isn't about tricks or manipulation. It's about power, presence, and self-respect. When you stop chasing, control your emotions, and live with purpose, you naturally become the man she can't forget. She misses the feeling of being around you, your energy, your calm confidence, your mystery. Every time you walk away with discipline instead of desperation, you increase your value. Remember this. A woman doesn't miss the man who begged for her attention. She misses the man who made her feel something real and then walked away.